When people give advice on how to rank up and get better in Rocket League, there are certain ideas that everyone has talked about. Don't blame your teammates, don't worry about winning, don't let your rank define you. These are all incredibly solid pieces of advice. However, what most people fail to mention is how you can go about doing these things. It's easy to say what you should do, but a lot harder to say how. Rocket League is a constant mental battle. You know what you need to do to give yourself the best chance to succeed, but all of us struggle to stay mentally strong all of the time. Today, we'll discuss what you can do to overcome these common mental hurdles, and the sooner you overcome them, the sooner you will be on the fast track to a higher rank. This lesson has been preached 1,000 times, and we have all experienced the same thing. We are teamed with certain players in ranked that we just do not get along with, whether it be because our playstyles just do not work with each other, or one of us is simply having a bad game. There are going to be games in ranked where we just do not vibe with our teammates. That's just a fact of Rocket League. When we get into these difficult games, I believe the best way you can help you and your team be more successful is to treat the game as if you were in comms with your best friend. Now, that may be a little bit of an odd idea, but allow me to explain. I want you to imagine that when you get scored on in these games, your teammate gets really down on themselves, whether they actually do or not. In all honesty, they probably don't. As their teammate and their friend, your job is to pick them back up, not continue to tear them down. All statements after we concede should begin with I and should never begin with you. When you get scored on, we should immediately be directing blame onto ourselves by stating something that we could have done to prevent our opposition from scoring. A very common example of this is stating how you could have done something to prevent your teammate from being left in a precarious situation, no matter how easy the situation should have been to deal with. Often, if we look back on plays where we concede, we will see ourselves do something that leads to the opponents having an easier time putting the ball in our net. This is beneficial in a couple of ways. First of all, by directing blame off of your teammate, it will keep you from getting tilted due to things outside of your control. Secondly, doing this will help you point out areas of your own game where you might be able to improve. This way, you put your teammates in dangerous situations less often. Accepting responsibility, even when a goal is mostly caused by a teammate's mistake, is the easiest way to stay locked in and prevent you from asking how a teammate can be so terrible. It'll stop you from thinking that your teammate is costing you the game. This has to be one of the biggest habits to break in Rocket League. It is completely natural for the goal when playing a competitive game to be to win. This is true whether it's esports, actual sports, board games, any competitive activity. The goal when something is competitive is to win. As difficult as this hurdle is, it can be overcome by flipping your mindset upside down. The last thing that we want to think about in this game is winning. The first thing we want to think about is improving. Now again, it is easy to say that, and it's been said 1,000 times, but how do we do it? My suggestion is to look at it this way. The people on the field are no longer teammates and opponents. Instead, they are all players here to help us improve. At the end of the day, everyone in Rocket League is trying to accomplish the same thing. The goal that everyone shares is not to win individual games, but to continue to improve overall. If we start to view other players on the field as people who want to help us improve rather than hinder us, the game becomes a lot more easygoing and the importance of individual matches falls away. When things get tough, this mindset will help us believe that we are just being put in a situation that will help us improve more quickly. The more difficult we find it to play with the other players on the field, the better we become. We want to throw out that mindset where our end goal is to win and replace it with a mindset of what I like to call personal wins. Basically, this means checking in with yourself and seeing if you are utilizing the tools around you to push yourself to improve. If it feels like you are just going through the motions and are stuck in a rut, take a moment to check in with yourself and re-establish what we are trying to accomplish in individual matches. If we constantly play for improvement instead of playing for the win, the wins, the increase in rank, will come naturally. It is much more beneficial to ignore the match results and focus on the personal result. Your MMR is nothing but a number. It does not define the player that you are. This final hurdle goes hand in hand with the previous one. We are going to experience situations where we simply have bad days of Rocket League. There are going to be times where literally everything is going to go wrong, and there is nothing you can do about it. The problem that a lot of players run into is thinking their rank is directly tied to the quality of player that they are. And this simply isn't true. I know even I have experienced it where I've been sitting at GC, have had a rough game, and have fallen down to very low GC or even Champ 3. And in my brain I go, oh my gosh, how could I be this bad? I thought I was a better player than this. And in reality, you are a better player. You simply had a bad day. There are a couple of things that you can do to overcome this hurdle. Firstly, it is important to recognize when things are not going well. Know when to take a bit of a break, and if things still are not going well when you come back from the break, know when to call it a day. It is very easy to get trapped in the mindset of not being able to end the day on a loss. I should know, got stuck in that idea quite a bit. However, when the day just isn't going well, you are not going to be able to work on personal improvement when you are stuck in a downward spiral. Sometimes the best thing you can do to help yourself improve is put the controller down and stop playing. Secondly, if you find yourself in a bit of a hole in terms of MMR, it is important to remind yourself that you didn't forget how to play the game overnight. You still know what you are doing, and you are still more than capable of climbing the ladder as high as you want to. If you get stuck on the fact that you had a bad day, or even a couple bad days, and your rank is down really bad, you can struggle to regain the confidence required to pull yourself out of a slump. One of the best things that I can advise to do in this situation is to look at some of your old replays where you've played well. This will help remind yourself that you are capable of great things, and you can get back to playing with confidence. Confidence is such a huge thing in Rocket League. If you find yourself lacking it, you need to do everything you can to get it back. Watching replays can help with this, but it is up to you to have the mental fortitude to overcome performance slumps and to maintain the confidence to rise back up to the level you know you are capable of. These are some of the most common mental hurdles that players face in Rocket League on a daily basis. The goal of this video was to equip you guys with the tools you would need to help yourselves overcome them. If anything was unclear or you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. At the end of the day, it is all about making improving at this game as easy as possible. Remember, don't blame your teammates, don't worry about winning, and don't let your rank define you. If you can overcome these hurdles, you will have a huge mental edge over your competition. In order to rank up in this game, you need to improve faster than everyone else. Having a mental edge will give you a chance to do just that, but it is up to you to follow through. Thank you everyone so much for watching, as I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.